Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tellow family kitchen. We've been spending a lot of time in here cooking some delicious Mediterranean style dishes. Hope you've had a chance to see our videos on the yellow rice and the green beans. And today, another classic Mediterranean style dish, we'll be making eggplant. Now eggplant is not only one of my favorite recipes that my mom makes, but it's also very high in vitamin C, which is good for your immune system, and it can even help with inflammation. Here's the ingredients we'll be using today: tomato sauce, cumin, our trusty friend olive oil, Vegeta, turmeric again, and then we'll add some water later. Now when we picked out this eggplant, the first thing you want to do is find one that's not very hard, but not very soft either. It should be like maybe closer to the soft side. You want to be able to like feel it, not like necessarily leave it dead, but between hard and soft, closer to the soft side. And the first thing we need to do is wash it. And then for our recipe, we're actually going to cut the stem off. I know some recipes call for maybe including it, but we'll cut it off for us. Now that we cut the stem off, what we're going to do next is peel it. Do this part very carefully. You don't want to cut yourself. Okay, so now that we have all of it peeled, for this recipe we'll be using about half of the eggplant, so just gonna rough chop it in half. And now that we have our eggplant in half, we're gonna cut it into 3 pieces like this, lengthwise. Again, make sure to keep your fingers in so you don't get cut. And then after we've cut them up into 3 slices, you can see this slice is a little thicker, so I'm just going to make it slightly smaller sizes. Probably go for about 4 there, like that. After we have them cut, now our trusty friend olive oil, we're going to fill the pan with olive oil. Put some in here. Earlier my mom was reminding me that the eggplant really seems to absorb the olive oil well, so we're going to add a lot of olive oil, basically cover the pan like that. Oil's looking pretty good, so now we'll take the eggplants and drop them in. Don't you love that sound? And then we're going to saute them until they're a little brown. And after sauteing it for a bit, now they're brown enough. This is about what we want them to look like. And then we'll be ready to add our next ingredients. After they're brown enough, the important step, we'll turn off our heat, and then we're going to be opening this can of tomato sauce, cumin, Vegeta, and turmeric, but we'll start by adding water. I think we're going to go for about 2.5 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of the tomato sauce, we're going to add, in our can of Vegeta here, we have one of these little spoons, so we're going to add just a little bit of that. Next we'll add just a pinch here of cumin, about like that much, right in there. And then we're going to do just a pinch of turmeric, about like that in there. And then we'll mix this in a little bit. Okay, then we're going to cover it here and let that sit for about 5 minutes. Now that you can see it's boiling after about 4 or 5 minutes, we can reduce the heat to low. And then we'll check it again in a little while. After about 12 minutes cooking on low heat, we'll take the top off here and give it a quick check. So here's a good tip my mom was talking about checking. You can put a knife in, and if it goes in pretty easily like that, it's definitely finished. Also, this dish goes perfectly with For instance, a dish like rice, you can serve it with that. Another thing you can do is dip either bread or crackers in this sauce. It tastes really good. The last step, we'll just plate some and give it a try. This is one of my mom's favorite recipes. Get into a little bit of it here. That's delicious. You can really taste all the flavor. This would go perfectly again with something like the yellow rice we made, or even like eating it with like bread or crackers. Perfect dish for that. For the recipe and ingredients for the eggplant again, just check the bottom of the video. Thanks so much for tuning in, and hope you join us again for another Mediterranean style recipe.